Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is take off the door trim and to get to this mid-bass driver so we can replace this out. You're going to need a panel removal tool to pull some panels off to get at some of the screws. The first one is up here in the door handle. So pop that little guy off and that will expose one Phillips head screw in here. Then we need to get this panel up. Sometimes this is easier just by hand, and get in under here and lift that up and out. Now these have the airbag safety retainer in here, which you're better off just leaving in. You don't need to get this panel completely off, you just need to loosen it to get access to this screw here. And then we also need to pop up this panel, which you're going to do with your panel removal tool, just under this little area here. See if you can see that. Give that a little twist and you'll see those clips start to release, and then softly along this front edge. Now careful, there's a hook at the front edge, so it comes up at the back first and then hooks out from the front. We've got a couple of clips just being a bit grabby there. There we go, and you can see that hook that I was talking about on the front. Now we've released that, I might need two hands for this next bit, which is you need to get this out of there and unplug the connectors at the back. You'll see the first one there underneath, the electrical connectors. I'm going to need two hands for this, so I'll be back in a second. Now we've exposed this other screw here. You're going to get those 3 Phillips head screws out, and then this little scrivet at the top also needs to come out. You'll pop this panel off, and then we'll lift the door trim up. There it is, the mid-bass driver installation done right with the Elite speaker install kit. Looking very, very tidy. There's sound deadening material both around the speaker and behind the speaker, and the acoustic dampening tile, which is going to take all the rattles and vibrations out of the door that you would normally hear. Yeah, that's well deadened. So it's going to project the sound out into the cabin much better than if you were just to put the speaker in without this acoustic dampening material. These kits we sell on the website, $59 is enough dampening material, gasket material to do 2 speakers. So if you're installing a set of speakers, no matter where you bought them from, us or anywhere, make sure you get the Elite speaker install kit from universalfuse.com to put your speakers in the best way they can be done and get the most out of your speakers, especially if they're a good quality, expensive pair of speakers like these Focal 6x9 splits. A $409 pair of speakers. You want to do them justice by installing them the best way that you can. And you can do that with the Elite speaker install kit. Now we've got all that done, we can reassemble this door. Just reverse the process that you did before. Hook your door latch controllers on first, plug your plugs in, put all the fasteners back in after we hang that door trim on, and we'll be ready to do the tweeter. Alright, so now we're on to the tweeter mounting and plugging for the new Isuzu Dmax with the Focal custom audio pack. This is, there's 2 ways of mounting these tweeters. The Focal pack comes with these awesome little directional mounts, which is the best way to mount your tweeter up because that will let it point straight to the listener, and pointing to the listener means you get a clearer direction of audio, which will give you a nicer result on your higher frequencies. High frequency sounds are very directional, so if you can point them straight at the listener, you'll get a better result out of your speaker. That's why Focal include these little directional mounts. Now, we've popped up the cover here for the tweeter area, for the factory tweeter, and we've removed the tweeter and unplugged it. That's the little plug we're left here with. This is another Universal Fuse Audiocom exclusive. We have a plug and play tweeter adapter pre-soldered on to the Focal speaker for you. So you'll be able to plug this tweeter straight into the factory connector without messing with your factory wiring at all, and get an instant, correctly crossed over, correctly filtered result out of your new Focal tweeter. what I was saying about options with the mounting is you can either choose to mount the tweeter flush in the original location with a little bracket. You'll have to fabricate something tricky there because there isn't anything included, and then put the original tweeter cover back over, which is neat, but you get reflected high frequency sound off the windscreen, which is not ideal for audio quality. So the nicest way to do it is how we're going to now, which is plug the tweeter in, clip this back over. We've blacked out some of the wire here already, and we're just going to, in the interest of modifying the car as little as possible, we're just going to squeeze the wire down between the gap between the A-pillar cover and the tweeter cover so that we don't have to make any holes. This will tuck away quite neatly. We've just put a little side hole to run the wire in the side of the tweeter mount there, which will tuck right in at the edge here, and I'll show you a finished little video in a second. Alright, check this out. We've got the tweeter all mounted up there in the factory location, and that's with the directional mount pointing directly at the driver's listening perspective, which will give a much nicer performance than if it was mounted flat down in the original location. Now you can see there the wire is just neatly tucked down in the gap between the A-pillar and the original tweeter cover, and we're able to do that without making any holes in the vehicle at all, which is nice if you ever want to reverse the process. Sorry about this car, it's a bit grubby. We'll give it a clean up before we give it back to the client. They brought it to us with crap, spilled coffee everywhere. So this little tweeter all in and done and mounted and secure. Now we've just secured that down with a good double-sided tape. The one we like to use is for if you just go to somewhere like a hardware store and get exterior double-sided tape. It's thick and squishy and it's crazy sticky, and it will stick something down like this very, very well. And the exterior one is UV stable, so it won't degrade over time with heat here on the dash, and that gives you an excellent, cool, aftermarket looking, secure tweeter pointing in the best acoustic perspective. All right, there we have it. We've put a full focal audio system in, a couple of tweeters at the front there, new mid-bass drivers in the doors, new coaxial speakers in the back, elite sound deadening install kits done on each speaker to optimize the performance of the speaker. This is going to sound much nicer than the factory speakers, but what we still need is power. That's the key to any system. The heart of any audio system is the amplifier that drives it. It's the engine that pushes and pulls the speakers. So to get the most out of your speakers, you have to drive them with an appropriate engine. So we're also going to do an amplifier upgrade in this vehicle. We're going to whip that audio unit out, and we're going to install a small compact focal power amplifier behind there in the dash to drive these speakers correctly. Like I said, they'll sound nicer than the factory speakers, but to get that intensity, the vividness of your sound, you need to drive them with power. An amplifier is always the key and one of the best things you can do in your audio system. Give it more power, 100%. So we're going to get under that. Watch that in the other videos. Check out the Dmax playlist on the website, on the YouTube channel, and check out the links on the Dmax page on the website www.universalfuse.com for links to those videos if you're having trouble finding them, and links to these product packages as well. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below wherever it is, and stick with us so we can show you more tips and tricks on how to upgrade your Isuzu Dmax with the best and latest audio gear from Audiocom and Universal Fuse.